Iron farms have been a staple for many people, building them almost instantly on any long-term survival world. Through the years, people have tried to make the most efficient version of it, but what if we reverse it? That's what I'm trying to find out today. What is the slowest rate we can get iron? Warning: this video includes math. You have been warned. I came up with 6 designs going from fastest to slowest. Let's start with the classic one. This first one is a basic villager iron farm. You have villagers running around from a zombie iron golem spawning in here and producing iron this way. It's not that efficient, but it's a good start. It takes 30 seconds for one golem to spawn. On average, it drops 4 iron per golem. That means for a minute it spawns 2 golems times an average of 4 iron is 8 iron per minute. And that means times 60 is 480 iron per hour. But villagers also need to sleep every 10 minutes because we're not gonna do some fancy system where they wake up automatically, so we'll just assume that they are asleep for half of the time. That means that there's only 30 waking minutes where the villagers actually work. So 480 iron goes in half, making 240 iron per hour. That might seem like a lot, but most iron farms nowadays have like thousands of iron per hour. So it's not that terrible, but it's a standard that we're going off of. Now for the second one, we need to go to the nether. Because Piglin bartering, they also drop iron. I made a simple bartering system, you can hook up a gold farm here or something. But this is basically how a bartering system goes. When bartering with a piglin, they have a chance of dropping some iron nuggets. And also some boots, but we're just not gonna count those. And I've been running this for a while and I have made 34 iron nuggets. And let's look at the math behind it. So it takes 6 seconds for them to inspect one gold ingot. And they have a 0.05 second cooldown before they can pick up another gold ingot. So one trade is about 6.05 seconds. If we divide 3600 by 6.05, we get the average of an hour. That means 595 trades per hour. It is a 10 in 459 chance for iron nuggets to be traded. So that means for every 459 trades it does, it chooses iron nuggets 10 times. And every time it chooses iron nuggets, it drops between 10 and 36, so an average of 23 iron nuggets per trade. So the percentile chance for nuggets to be traded is 0.0218, and that times the 595 trades we get in an hour is an average of 12.972 nuggets traded per hour. The 12.972 nugget trades per hour times 23 for the average amount of nuggets equals 298.354 nuggets per hour. The 298.354 divided by 9 equals 1 iron ingot is 33.150 ingots per hour. So it's a lot slower than the normal iron farm, but it's still making like at least 30 iron per hour. It's terrible, but you get a bunch of other loot. For the third one, we have a simple zombie spawner. We can just make a zombie farm like this, they drop it down here and you can kill them. Now zombies have a chance of dropping iron ingots when killed. It's like a really low percentage, but technically this could count as an iron farm. So let's get into the math. Every time the spawner spawns a zombie, it spawns between 1 and 4 per time. That's an average of 2.5 zombies per spawn. The monster spawner cooldown is between 200 and 799 ticks. That's an average of 499.5 ticks per spawn cycle, aka about 2.5 seconds. So the average of 2.5 zombies per spawn divided by the about 25 seconds per spawn cycle times 3600 for this to be calculated in an hour is about 360.360 zombies per hour. Now, because we want this to be as slow as possible, we're not going to use looting. That means for one zombie to drop iron, it's a 0.83% chance. That means 360.360 times 0.0083 is about 3 iron ingots per hour. It takes an hour to have a chance at 3 iron ingots using this farm. And this is only halfway there. We still have the slowest ones to go. So let's get going to these ones then. Villagers are known for being able to trade to them. Technically, I could just make the next farm where you trade emeralds and smelt the iron boots and helmets into nuggets, but that still requires an interaction from you. I want this to be completely automatic, so we're gonna use a less known feature from villagers, and that is that they gift gifts. So once you have Hero of the Village effect and get into the range of a villager, they have a chance of throwing items at you. So let's get into the math again. It takes either 30 seconds or 330 seconds. These two together divided by 2 is about 180 seconds. That means it takes 3 minutes per gift on average. Now, one gift equals 1 iron nugget. Because this is an armorer, he gives always any iron armor piece. We can smelt that into an automatic furnace. We can make hoppers under here and do a whole furnace thing. That means we get 1 iron nugget per trade, which means it takes 9 iron nuggets to get an ingot. Times 3 is 27 minutes for 1 ingot. So 1 ingot divided by 27 is about 0.037 ingots per minute. But if we take that times 60, that's 2.222222, etc. ingots per hour on average. And this guy gave me chainmail. Can we smelt this into iron? I didn't know they could give that. Okay, cool, they can still. My calculations aren't wrong, I just misread it. But how can we make this even slower? We use a weaponsmith. For this one, we basically have the exact same. We just assume you have Hero of the Village constantly and do the same formulas. But this time, he has 3 possible gifts, which is an iron axe, a stone axe, or a golden axe. And only the iron axe can be smelted into an iron nugget. So basically it's this formula, but divided by 3, because it has a 1 in 3 chance per gift. That means it takes 81 minutes for it to have a chance at 1 iron nugget. So 1 divided by 81 is about 0.01234. That times 60 is about 0.74 ingots per hour. This farm is almost 200 times slower than a normal iron farm. And it's not even the slowest yet. So this farm uses Evokers. These guys, I've just trapped them in here, can spawn faxes. If I just look, they spawn faxes and they have iron swords. Now let's get into the formulas. Every time they do a spell, it has a 50% chance of being by these things and a 50% chance of spawning faxes. It is a 2 seconds wind up plus 17 seconds cooldown, so that means it's about 90 seconds per spell. Because it's only a 50% chance, that means it takes 38 seconds on average to spawn faxes. Once he spawns faxes, he always spawns them in 3. So 38 divided by 3 is about 12.66 seconds per fax. Now, faxes have a 0.8% chance to drop their iron sword. That means 12.666 divided by 0.008 is about 1583.333 seconds per sword. You can smelt that sword into a nugget again, so do that times 9, it takes 14,250 seconds per ingot. That divided by 60 is about 237.666. If you do 1 divided by 237.666, you get an average of 0.0042. That times 60 is 0.252 ingots per hour. Now that's not even the whole problem, because you have to kill them yourself. You can't kill faxes automatically. It's terrible. You have to farm them manually for this slow rate. I'm not even gonna do it. That's how terrible this is. And you know what even the worst part of this entire farm is? It only works on Bedrock. On Java it doesn't even work. This farm gives 0 iron ingots every never. This farm sucks. So this is officially the slowest farm because it only works on one version, where it makes 0.252 ingots per hour and you have to do it manually.